Mark Sutera, 3302 Aruba. I have a question on the procedure on when we do your motions. So going back to the awning motion, who did the RFP for the awning? It was at maintenance?
Maintenance.
Okay, maintenance. After that, who chooses the vendors that you're going to send out the RFP to?
We recommend it to management. Okay? Then it goes to the executive committee based on our recommendation, and then they will recommend to the board.
But you send out, you choose the companies you're sending out the RFP.
That is our purpose, yes.
So why did you send out an RFP to A to Z awnings if you weren't going to use them? Because like Ed said, he has no trust in anybody who has not worked here in Winmore.
We don't.
That's not true.
We don't send that. We send out. We make it public, the RFPs. We don't at that point say we don't want this one or that one. That would be unfair and that would be wrong. You want as many as possible. Jackie can tell you the story of how hard it is to get people to just, 600?
The city, okay. The city sent out 479 proposals to different companies, right? 479 companies. 6 responded. 4 were eliminated for certain reasons. They didn't meet the specs, right? Or the criteria. We had 2 out of 479 requests. When we send it out, we go through the same procedure.
And if we left A and Z off, we'd be criticized. Why'd you leave them out? So once we send them out, we need to submit them to the executive committee, to the management.
So you sent it out to how many companies? Do you
As many
remember?
as we can. How many?
Five companies.
Or as many that will reflect, yeah.
But when the bids came back, Expert, the ones you chose, were 74% higher than A and Z's bid. But let me finish one thing. But at the meeting, Ed said he could not recommend A to Z because they have not done any work here in Winmore.
That's not true.
He said that.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons.
He said that. He did.
He did, it was one of the
Say that. I
reasons.
said that we would not accept A to Z because we've never used them before. That we didn't recommend them because we never used them before, and their price, because we got to finish the sentence, and their price was only half of what the other bidders bid. All the other bidders were around the same price. They were half. There's something, that's what everybody keeps saying. There's something wrong with it. Why are they half of what everybody else is? Doesn't make sense. There's something wrong with what they're doing. They're going to come back later and get us.
That's no reason.
They've been in business 15 years. So if you have a contract, you keep them to their contract. And if they don't do the job right, you get Bogan's Law Group. Then Bogan's Law Group comes in.
Okay, we're getting out of here.
$37,000 more. And you're going to question because they offered a better price?
No, wait a minute, we're going off track here. First of all, Ed, you need to explain why they had poor ratings. They are not just an awning company, right? Am I correct? So there are things that you have to reiterate why they were not the recommended company, the recommended vendor, not just because of price. Sometimes it's not always the best to go the cheapest. So
But
that's
this was
why.
the first time you guys put ratings in your sheets, the comparison. Why did you now add ratings? Plus, I Googled A to Z's. They got over 22,680 ratings, reviews. 80%, majority were favorable. 80% were in the...
On awnings? Because they don't just do awnings.
For that company.
Right, they're versatile, they don't just do awnings.
So where did you get these ratings? From Home Advisor? Do they do commercial businesses, Fred?
Go ahead, tell them.
There were a couple places that we got ratings, but one of them was the Home Advisor, and the Home Advisor, and also Angie's List,
Which is the same company.
which was the same company, right? And they were 4. If you look, if they were 4, was 2.8. Now, to say that we wouldn't use them because they've never worked at Winwood before is a distortion. We would use them if everything else checked out and their price seemed to match other people lower. You know, that would be their preference, but we would use them. So please don't say that.
Please don't. But then you have the backup showing these ratings, where you got these ratings from? Is it in the packet?
Well, I'm not gonna call up everybody that rated them.
But where did you get those ratings?
Check the ratings on the web.
I tried finding them, I can't find it. Do you have it
Okay.
printed out?
Oh, we're noted here. It's
You
noted.
just can't quote numbers and then say I have no backup.
I do have backup.
Then that's what I asked you. Do you have
All
backup?
right, thank you, Mark.
Mark, you're not
Point
making any
made.
sense right now.
Come on, Fred.
Mark, thank you. Thank you.
It isn't a debate. This is inappropriate. It wasn't done the way it should be. We all know that. Please.
What wasn't done the right way?
His approach.
Thank
Chuck,
you. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't referring to the process.
No, it's
Okay.
just, we're here to give out information, we're not here to be attacked, assaulted, debate,
Right.
and going back and forth, that's not, you make your.
No,
statement
that's
and you
fine.
sit there.
Well, it went to executive, it went to the board. Look, every day of the week, we're always saying, but you said, and it's open to interpretation. I was accused yesterday of saying something that I did not say. It was misinterpreted. And that's what happens here. Unfortunately, when we vote, and when I say we, I mean the board of directors, all 44 that represent you, vote on an issue, we move on. It's not like we're concentrated on one issue. We have a million things going on here. And what we shouldn't do here on a Tuesday meeting or any meeting is to give a response. We need to come back the next week after it's been researched, after it's been looked into, and not just give answers off the top of our heads right now, because we've already moved on to the next project.